Hello and welcome to Clearview News Desk. We're reaching you live from Nigeria's capital city, Abuja. First, the headlines. Uneasy quiet in PDP camp as tribunal sacks Osun State Governor Ademola Adeleke. Independent National Electoral Commission set to conduct mock accreditation of voters across the country to confirm readiness for 2023 general elections. U.S. authorities charge 5 former police officers with murder over fatal beating of a black man in Memphis. I am Nkiru Obuli with these and more. Osun State Governor Ademola Adeleke has described the judgment of the Governorship Tribunal as a miscarriage of justice, vowing to challenge the ruling at the Court of Appeal. Reacting to the verdict of the tribunal in a statement issued by his spokesperson, Rashid Olawale, Governor Adeleke faulted the resolution of the overvoting question in favor of Oyetola, calling it an unfair interpretation against the will of the majority of voters. While urging his supporters to remain calm, Governor Adeleke vowed to appeal the judgment at the Court of Appeal, insisting he remains the rightful winner of the July 16 election. The Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has affirmed the conduct of a mock accreditation of voters across the country as a field test exercise in readiness for 2023 all-inclusive general election and to put finishing touches to its preparations. The INEC chairman, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, gave the affirmation during the Commission's meeting with resident electoral commissioners from the 36 states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, this Friday. Clearview's Florence Joshua was there and now reports.
Counting down days before the 2023 general elections, INEC Chairman Professor Yakubu has reassured Nigerians that 12 polling units have been designated in each state of the Federation and 4 in the Federal Capital Territory (FCT) for the mock accreditation that will hold on Saturday, 4th February 2023 in 436 polling units nationwide. The INEC chairman appealed to registered voters in the polling units to appear on the scheduled date with their PVCs for the exercise.
As you are already aware, the Commission has taken delivery of the bimodal voter accreditation system machines for the election. We have also dutifully tested each machine in our offices nationwide to ensure its functionality. The next step is to conduct field tests across the country involving actual voters. For this reason, and in readiness for the nationwide deployment, the Commission is conducting a mock accreditation of voters, similar to what was done ahead of the Ekiti and Osun governorship elections. The Commission appeals to registered voters in the affected polling units to appear on the scheduled dates with their PVCs for the mock exercise. Doing so will help to reassure the public of the robustness of our system and to strengthen our processes ahead of the general election.
With exactly 4 weeks to the polls on Saturday, 25th February 2023 for the presidential and National Assembly elections, to be followed 2 weeks later by the governorship and state assemblies elections on Saturday, the 11th March 2023. The Commission says it is fully on ground to conduct free, fair and credible elections to the admiration of both local and international observers. Florence Joshua, reporting for Clearview News Desk.
Former Nigerian President Olusegun Obasanjo says with independent institutions in place, a democratic culture will be possible in Nigeria. In a keynote address at a national forum on deepening democratic culture and institutions for sustainable development and security, Obasanjo said until Nigeria redirects its steps, the current democratic process will be derailed.
In a keynote address delivered at the International Conference on Deepening Democratic Culture and Institutions for Sustainable Development and Security in Nigeria, The former Nigerian president, Olusegun says true democracy is possible in Nigeria and that the country also has the capacity to build a culture of democratization.
Democracy is possible in Nigeria, and we have the capacity to build a culture of democratization. Let's recognize and accept the fact that it is an evolutionary process with principles.
The former president also warned that except Nigeria retraces its political steps in the right direction, the current democratic process will either not produce the right leaders or leave so many broken blocks on the path of governance.
Without retracing our political steps to the right direction, the current process will either not produce the right leaders or it will leave so many broken blocks on the path to governance. The result will be democratic quagmire, increased corruption, insecurity, and survival of the fittest, richest, and better connected, with little or no recognition of merit.
The two-day conference is also seen as a timely exercise, especially given the fact that the next general election is just around the corner.
All of us will agree that we have as yet not been too successful in ensuring that democratic governance delivers all-round development in a way and on a scale that will sustain the system as the preferred and uncontested model of choice.
Since 1999, Nigeria has had 6 general election cycles, but none was considered substantially clean, free, and fair. None of the defeated contestants believed they lost fairly and blamed the umpire, the security agencies, and politicians for undermining our democracy with brazen electoral fraud. The new electoral law, especially with the provisions of the use of technology, holds the prospect for a brighter democratic experience for Nigeria if implemented effectively. But beyond the legal regime, political parties, internal practices, and external electioneering behavior must conform to democratic norms and standards.
The conference therefore offers another opportunity for stakeholders to discuss issues affecting the country's quest for democracy, good governance, security, and sustainable development in Nigeria.
The Lagos State Organizing Secretary of the All Progressives Congress (APC), Adewale, has cleared the air over the Bullion van spotted at the Lagos residence of Asiwaju Bola Tinubu on the eve of the 2019 presidential election. He said the Bullion vans missed their way. Adewale stated this while speaking in an interview on a network station. According to him, the Bullion vans matter had been put to rest a long time ago. Hear more from Adewale. I was in that house on that very day, and it was not on an election day. The Bullion vans missed their way to have come there. Adewale further said, there are some companies that have high number of staff members that pay their staff with cash. That Bullion van missed its way there, and it was not invited by Asiwaju or anybody. Meanwhile, Adewale's justification differs with the position of the APC standard bearer in 2019. Recall that Tinubu had, while responding to questions about the Bullion vans at his residence in Bullion, Ikoyi, said he could keep his money wherever he wanted. Tinubu said this while fielding questions from journalists shortly after casting his vote in 2019. Residents of Kubwa in the Federal Capital Territory are still finding it hard to believe that the construction company Ntata Development will not come back again to demolish more. The good news now is that the FCT Commissioner of Police has waded in. More from Clearview's Florence Joshua, who has been following the trend.
Few weeks ago, it was reported on Clearview television the night demolition of some structures in Kubwa, the Federal Capital Territory, by a construction company known as Ntata Limited. The development has generated lots of reactions, and at the end of the day, the FCT Command Police has waded in. Before going into the updates, let's refresh your memory with reactions from the owners and a witness.
When I came here, everything, both all our church equipment that is inside the church, they break everything. They did not even give us notice. They didn't tell us that we should come and take even a pin. We cannot see it to take. I don't know what is going on. Our paper, I have my paper. My land paper is with me. It's inside my bag. I can bring it out. The church has paper. Please, I'm just pleaded to Nigeria people. They should just please and help me. I don't know what to start from. I didn't have anybody to fight for me. I'm a widow with 6 children. They should please help me. I didn't know who to call. I didn't know where to talk to. I didn't know who to talk to. I didn't know where to go. They should just please help me.
2011, when Data moved in to develop the property and every other thing, they were kind of clearing the environment and every other thing. They were asked if their own property entered our own site. They said no. So, but after like few months, they started fencing the whole environment, both our own property and what's it called, and theirs. So from there, we moved to court and every other thing. And ever before then, there have been series of hearing at the court and every other thing. But what they started last year, being 2022 and every other thing, they use another pattern. At night when everybody is sleeping, they just come out and start demolishing people's properties and every other thing. Like all these places you're looking at now, there were existing buildings there, a story building and other fences and everything. They've demolished everything, and they used their own their own common fence to round the whole environment and everything.
Kudos to the Nigerian police as the operator of Dantata Town Developers Limited was invited to the FCT Police Command after a thorough investigation into the illegal demolition and malicious damage caused by the company recently in Kubwa. The convener of the meeting at the command headquarters today, ASP Korosi, who spoke during the meeting, promised to charge the matter to court after several confessions made by the management of Dantata Town Developers Limited that they were actually involved by the illegal demolition at night in Kubwa. The barrister of the company, Ichere Oking, promised to engage more with the owner of the land, Mr. Cypriel, and to see how the matter can be settled out of court as soon as possible. Florence Joshua reporting for Clearview News Desk.
On the foreign scene, U.S. authorities on Thursday charged 5 former police officers with murder over the fatal beating of a black man in Memphis as the southern city braced for possible civil unrest, and President Joe Biden urged demonstrators to protest peacefully. Taya Nichols, 29, was stabbed on January 7 for what the Memphis Police Department said was reckless driving. Family attorneys Ben Crump and Antonio Romanucci said in a statement that after a chase ensued, police brutalized him to the point of being unrecognizable. The 5 officers, who are also black, were fired after an internal investigation found them to have deployed excessive use of force and to have failed to render aid. Nichols was taken to the hospital in critical condition, according to police, where he died on January 10. If you're just joining us, you're watching the news on Clearview News Desk. When we come back, we'll bring you stories on women and children. Stay with us.
The news continues now with stories from our area of specialization, women and children. After the main transmission of our news, we rebroadcast on our YouTube page, Clearview TV. Do you operate a women or children's NGO? Are you at the helm of affairs of a government establishment or a corporate organization involved in the affairs of women and children? Then you are our partners in progress. We have a mission to better the lot of our women and children. Join us to celebrate womanhood and work assiduously to better the lot of the Nigerian child. This is our mission.
You're welcome back. People with disabilities, PWDs, are often excluded from the mainstream of the society and hence may not contribute to the development of the society at all or optimally. While quality of life of PWDs is generally poor, it is common knowledge that women living with disabilities suffer more. Clearview News hosted Lois Alta recently in an interview session. She is the founder of Cedar Seed Foundation. We sought to know from her how people with disabilities get justice when their rights are trampled upon.
The women are poorer and generally face barriers to full equality and advancement because of such factors as race, age, language, ethnicity, culture, tradition, and religion. Persistence of certain cultural, legal, and institutional barriers makes women and girls with disabilities victims of twofold discrimination as women and as persons with disabilities. Girls and women of all ages with any form of disability are among the more vulnerable and marginalized of society. There is therefore need to take into account and to address their concerns in all policy making and programming.
Cedar Seed Foundation was influential and one of the organizations that fought for the passage and assent of Nigerian Disability Act. We advocated for almost 20 years before it was finally assented to by Mr. President in 2019. And in 2020, a National Commission for Persons with Disabilities was established. And some institutions, agencies, organizations now, they have policies on disability inclusion. Is it INEC? Is it Ministry of Education, Ministry of Health? They have some legal frameworks, documents that are advocating for disability inclusion.
Special measures are needed at all levels to integrate them into the mainstream of development.
National Human Rights Commission too is also doing well with other institutions like police and Ministry of Women Affairs. Ministry of Women Affairs have gender desk officers, and we're in the process of also engaging women with disabilities as part of the gender desk officers to be able to report issues of violence. It could be election violence, it could be gender-based violence, emotional violence, financial, and the different types of violence that we have. So it could be reported and act upon to be able to give justice to the victims or survivors.
Disability Rights Advocacy Center was therefore conceived to provide a much-needed voice and lead a movement to champion a more organized and strategic response to disability issues with a development mindset. Samson Orimole, Clearview News.
Today, Clearview News Desk beams its spotlight on Mo Abudu, one of Nigeria's finest media moguls, who has been described by Forbes as Africa's most successful woman and rated as one of the 25 most powerful women in global television by The Hollywood Reporter.
Mosumola Abudu, also known as Mo Abudu, is a woman that wears many hats. She is a Nigerian media mogul, philanthropist, and former human resources management consultant. She has been described by many as Africa's Oprah Winfrey. Mo Abudu was born on 11 September 1964 in London to Nigerian parents who are from Ondo State originally. She is the eldest of 3 sisters. Her parents relocated to Nigeria when she was 7 years old, and they began to live in Lagos till she was age 11. Her father died when she was 12 years old, after which she returned to the UK for further studies. She attended Hammersmith County Secondary School and moved on to the Ridgeway School in Kent College and West Kent College. She has a master's degree in human resource management from the University of Westminster in London. Abudu is currently a member of the British Psychological Society with a qualification in occupational and personality testing.
During her days in the university and shortly after, Mo had a brief modeling stint. However, having completed her master's in HR, she started her career as a recruitment consultant in the UK in 1987. She went on to work for a number of companies in the UK and Nigeria before establishing her own human resources development company called Vic Lawrence and Associates Limited. She was in her late 20s and her children were entering their teens when she decided to make a complete shift in her career from HR to media and show business. In her opinion, it was the only way that she could make the impact she wished to make on people's view of Africa. She entered show business in Nigeria by taking the role of executive producer and host of the television talk show called Moments with Mo, which covers a cross-section of topics including lifestyle, health, culture, politics, and entertainment. She has interacted with a wide spectrum of celebrities on the show, ranging from presidents, Nobel laureates, and the U.S. Secretary of State, Hillary Clinton. The show was a huge success as it aired in 48 African countries. She went on to create and produce a reality show called The Debaters, aimed at giving Africa a voice in the world affairs through oratory. In 2013, she launched Africa's first global black multi-broadcast entertainment network called Ebony Live Television, which aired originally to inspire and target the global black audience in order to present a realistic view of Africa and its future path to prosperity. She plunged deeper into the entertainment industry when she started producing films through her company, Ebony Live Films, which she founded in 2014. Her debut film, 50, was screened at the London Film Festival and was one of Nigeria's biggest blockbusters. As the years rolled by, she went on to make more partnerships and collaborations with international and national film companies like Netflix, Disney, Sony, and so on to produce standard films and series suitable for the global audience. In 2016, she teamed up with the Elfike Collective to produce The Wedding Party. The film became the highest-grossing title of all time in the Nigerian film industry in Nollywood. Other films she has also executively produced or co-produced are The Wedding Party 2, The Royal Hibiscus Hotel, Chief Daddy, Your Excellency, and Oloture.
Please tell me that didn't just happen.
It's not that bad.
Harrison, let's go.
I should call my tailor. Madam.
Notable among TV drama series executively produced by her include Desperate Housewives Africa in partnership with Disney, Sons of the Caliphate, Castle and Castle, On the Real, The Governor, and a film adaptation of Death and the King's Horseman, a play by Nobel Prize winner Wole Soyinka, and a series based on Lola Shoneyin's best-selling debut novel, The Secret Lives of Baba Shegi's Wives. In December 2019, Mo opened Ebony Life Place, a lifestyle and entertainment resort located on Victoria Island, Lagos. It is Nigeria's first lifestyle and entertainment resort. In the course of her life and career, Mo has received numerous awards and honors for her work and contributions to the entertainment industry as well as national development. In 2013, Forbes Africa recognized Abudu as the first African woman to own a Pan-African TV channel. That same year, she was listed as one of the 25 most powerful women in global TV by The Hollywood Reporter and received the Entrepreneur of the Year award by Women Work in Nollywood in 2014, among others. Mo lives in Lagos with her son and daughter, born out of a short-lived marriage to Tokunbo Abudu. She is also a grandmother. Clearview News celebrates Mo Abudu for shattering the glass ceilings of Nigeria's business and entertainment industry, carving a niche for herself and redefining the perception that African women were created to sit behind the fence and watch things happen.
Remember, if you can think it, you can do it.
Gloria Atta, reporting for Clearview News.
And that's the news, but before we go, a recap of the top stories. Osun State Governor Ademola Adeleke has described the judgment of the governorship tribunal that sacked him as a miscarriage of justice. The governor has vowed to challenge the ruling at the Court of Appeal. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has affirmed the conduct of a mock accreditation of voters across the country as a field test exercise in readiness for 2023 all-inclusive general elections. INEC Chairman Professor Mahmoud Yakubu gave the affirmation during the Commission's meeting with resident electoral commissioners from the 36 states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory in Abuja this Friday. We also told you that U.S. authorities have charged 5 former police officers with murder over the fatal beating of a black man in Memphis as the southern city braced up for possible civil unrest. Remember to like us on Facebook, Clearview Television. Follow us on Twitter at Clearview Online. Follow us on Instagram at ClearviewTV_NG. And also remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Clearview TV. Thank you for watching. I am Olusegun.